Neil Armstrong, Gene Cernan have both testified against commercial spaceflight and the way that Neil Armstrong, Gene Cernan have both testified against commercial spaceflight and the way that you're developing it.
I was very sad to see that because those guys are, those guys are heroes of mine, so it's really tough. I wish they would come and visit and see the hardware that we're doing here. And I think that would change their mind.
They inspired you to do this, didn't they?
Yes.
And to see them casting stones in your direction.
It's difficult.
You put $90 billion, like 50 years worth of brakes into solar and wind, to Solyndra and Fisker and Tesla and Enter1. I mean, I had a friend who said you don't just pick the winners and losers, you pick the losers.
Did you expect them to cheer you on?
So they're hoping they would.
When you had that third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up. I mean, I'd have to be dead or completely incapacitated.
Tesla is worth more than General Motors. Tesla is worth more than Ford Motor Company.
In the history of spaceflight, only 4 entities have launched a space capsule into orbit and successfully brought it back to the Earth: the United States, Russia, China, and Elon Musk.
So yes, I think it's possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. Call me 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I don't care.
The way that I usually describe myself is an engineer, because that's mostly what most of what I do is engineering.
So I spend most of the week with my engineering and design team working on the current car and future cars and the rockets and spacecraft and that kind of thing. When I was a kid, I didn't really have any grand designs. I mean, the reason I started programming computers is because I like computer games. And I play lots of computer games, and I learned that if I wrote software and sold it, then I could get more money and buy better computers. So it wasn't really, with some grand vision or anything. When I was growing up, I'd read lots of books, and they were very often set in the United States, and it seemed like a lot of new technology was being developed in the United States. So I thought, okay, I really want to work on new technology, so I want to get to Silicon Valley. I tried at first to convince my parents to move to the US, but neither of them would move. They were divorced, and so eventually I was able to get my Canadian citizenship because my mom had been born in Canada. So I moved first to Canada by myself when I was 17, and then a few years later I moved to the US. The reason I came out to Stanford was actually to work on energy storage technologies for electric cars. That summer of '95, I was looking at the internet, and it seemed to me like the internet was going to have a big effect on humanity. So I thought, well, I can either work on electric vehicle technology and do my PhD at Stanford and watch the internet get built, or I could put my studies on hold and try to be part of the internet. And at first I tried to get a job at Netscape because that was the only internet company, and they didn't respond to me. So I was like, okay, if I can't get a job at the only internet company, then I better try starting something. But I talked to my professor and I said, look, I'm going to try starting a company. It's probably not going to succeed. And if it doesn't succeed, can I come back? And he said, sure, no problem. And so I put my studies on hold and started the company.
Did some internet stuff, one of which was PayPal. I think maybe it's helpful to say one of the things that was important then in the creation of PayPal was kind of how it started, because initially the initial thought was with PayPal was to create an agglomeration of financial services, so to have one place where all of your financial services needs would be seamlessly integrated and work smoothly. And then we had like a little feature which was to do email payments, and whenever we'd show the system off to someone, we'd show the hard part, which was the agglomeration of financial services, which was quite difficult to put together. Nobody was interested. Then we'd show people email payments, which was actually quite easy, and everybody was interested. I think it's important to take feedback from your environment. You want to be as closed loop as possible. We focused on email payments and really try to make that work, and that's what really got things to take off. But if we hadn't responded to what people said, then we probably would not have been successful. Going from PayPal, I thought, well, what are some of the other problems that are likely to most affect the future of humanity? It really wasn't from the perspective of what's the rank-ordered best way to make money, which is okay, but it was really what I think is going to most affect the future of humanity. So I think the biggest terrestrial problem we've got is sustainable energy, both the production and consumption of energy in a sustainable manner. If we don't solve that this century, we're in deep trouble. And then the other one being the extension of life beyond Earth to make life multiplanetary. So the latter is the basis for SpaceX, and the former is the basis for Tesla and Solar City. When I started SpaceX, initially I thought that, well, there's no way one could possibly start a rocket company. I wasn't that crazy. But then I thought, well, what is a way to increase NASA's budget? That was actually my initial goal. So I actually went to Russia 3 times to look at buying a refurbished ICBM. I can tell you it was very weird going there in late 2001, 2002, going to the Russian rocket forces and saying, I'd like to buy 2 of your biggest rockets, but you can keep the nuke. They thought I was crazy, but I did have money, so that was okay.
Particularly if you're starting a company, you need to work super hard. So what does super hard mean? Well, when my brother and I were starting our first company,
instead of getting an apartment, we just rented a small office and we slept on the couch. And we showered at the YMCA, and we're so hot up we had just one computer. So the website was up during the day, and I was coding at night. 7 days a week, all the time. Briefly had a girlfriend in that period, and in order to be with me, she had to sleep in the office. So work hard like every waking hour. That's the thing I would say. You do simple math, say like, okay, if somebody else is working 50 hours and you're working 100, you'll get twice as much done in the course of a year as the other company.
Work like hell. I mean, you just have to put in, 80 to 100 hour weeks every week. And then
a lot of work.
all those things improve the odds of success. If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, then even if you're doing the same thing, you know that in 1 year you will achieve what they achieve. You will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve. Then it's just you have to apply a lot of hours to actually working. So the way I generally do it is I'll be working at SpaceX on Monday, and then Monday night fly to Bay Area, spend Tuesday and Wednesday at the Bay Area, then at Tesla, and then fly back on Wednesday night, spend Thursday and Friday at SpaceX. In the last several months, then I would fly back here on a Saturday and either spend Saturday and Sunday at Tesla or spend Saturday at Tesla and Sunday at SpaceX. So 7 days a week, sleeping in the factory. I worked in the paint shop, general assembly, body shop.
You ever worry about yourself imploding? Like it's just too much?
Absolutely. No one should put this many hours into work. This is not good. And people should not work this hard. They should not do this. It's very painful.
Painful in what sense?
It hurts my brain and my heart. This is not recommended for anyone. I just did it because if I didn't do it, then Tesla, good chance Tesla would die.
I gave basically both SpaceX and Tesla from the beginning a probability of less than 10% of likely to succeed. In the beginning, I wouldn't even let my friends invest because I didn't want to lose their money. I thought it was like, I'd rather lose my own money. We almost did die at SpaceX, actually. So I budgeted for 3 flights. Technically, I did have a plan where I had the money from PayPal. I had like about 180 million from PayPal. And I thought, I'll allocate half of that to SpaceX and Tesla and Solar City, and that should be fine. I'll have 90 million. Like, it's just lots, But then what happened is things cost more and took longer than I thought. So I had a choice of either put the rest of the money in or the companies are going to die. And it's like, so I ended up putting all the money in and borrowing money for rent from friends.
If you want to try to come up with an innovative breakthrough, that's going to be how it is. Anything which is significantly innovative is going to come with a significant risk of failure. You've got to take big chances in order for the potential for a big positive outcome. If the outcome is exciting enough, then taking a big risk is worthwhile. It's really how I approach it. But then once executing down a path, I actually do my absolute best to reduce risk, because, or to improve another way of saying it, to improve the probability of success, because when you try to do something that is very, very risky, that you have to spend a lot of effort trying to reduce that risk as you embark down that path. I think I'm kind of constitutionally just geared to just keep going. I don't know. I don't know. It certainly, there are times when things don't go well, and then that's quite dispiriting for sure. And so then it's difficult to proceed with the same level of enthusiasm. But I do think the things that we're doing are you know, pretty important to the future. And if we don't succeed, then you know, it's not clear what other things would succeed. And if we don't succeed, then we'll be certainly pointed to as a reason why people shouldn't even try for these things. So I think it's important that we do whatever is necessary to keep going.
So how do you keep your focus on the big picture when you're constantly faced with, we could be out of business in a month?
Well, it's just a very small percentage of mental energy is on the big picture. Like you know where you're generally heading for, and the actual path is going to be some sort of zigzaggy thing in that direction. You try not to deviate too far from the path that you want to be on, but you're going to have to do that to some degree.
One of the most difficult choices I've ever faced in life was in 2008. I think I had maybe $30 million left, or $30 or $40 million left in 2008. I had two choices. Put it all into one company, and then the other company would definitely die, or split it between the two companies. But if I split it between the two companies, then both might die. And you know, when you put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating something, and building something, it's like a child. It's like, which one am I going to let one starve to death? I couldn't bring myself to do it, so I split the money between the two. Fortunately, thank goodness, they both came through.
Was there any great failure that you think you have had?
Well, I certainly have lost many battles. So far, I've not lost a war, but I've certainly lost many battles. Yeah, more than I can count, probably. I mean, we had many, at Tesla, we came many times close to bankruptcy. In fact, at the end of 2008, we were only a few days from bankruptcy. It was literally 2 days, or 3 days maybe.
I was curious in general, what do you think of the Silicon Valley mantra, fail fast, fail often, or as Esther Dyson says, always make new mistakes, as if failure is the crucible of learning? I'm curious if you had any further thoughts on that, and that maybe off-the-cuff comment you made out there.
Well, I mean, there are many that sort of, I mean, I think it's sort of, there's like some entropic basis for this. Like, there are many more ways to fail than to succeed. So you have to explore. I mean, particularly like for a rocket, there's like 1,000 ways to think and fail, and like one way it can work. So you could have a lot of rocket failures to explore all the ways in which it can fail. But I do think that one great thing about Silicon Valley is that failure is not a big stigma. So it's like if you try hard and it doesn't work out, that's okay. Like you can learn from that and do another company, and it's not a big deal. I mean, I think it's like quite painful and difficult, honestly, and it feels terrible. Yeah, I mean, the company is sort of looking to me to rally them, and so I do. But I honestly feel super bad. Space is hard, and rockets tend to fail, unfortunately. Even when you've got like a lot of really smart people working super hard to minimize the probability of failure, it's still there, and it's quite significant. And people have asked me like, well, why are rockets especially hard? And part of it is like everything has to work the first time. Like there's no, you can't do a recall, you can't patch it. It's like 9 minutes to orbit or it's over.
That mindset that embraces failure, how do you personally, I mean, those kinds of failures would drive a lot of us in this room nuts, but doesn't seem to drive you nuts. Seems like you're very comfortable with it. Can you talk about the mindset that requires for you to be that accepting of that kind of failure?
Well, I think there's a certain amount of time, and within that time, you want the best net outcome. So for all the set of actions that you can do, there's going to be some of which will fail, some of which will succeed, and you want the net useful output of your set of actions to be the highest. So if you use like a baseball analogy, like you know, baseball, they don't let you just sit there and wait for the perfect pitch until you get a real easy one. They even give you 3 shots. And the third one, they say, okay, and they get off the, and they go back to the, put somebody else up there. So your 3 strikes on baseball, not on the bat anymore. So what you're really looking for is like, what's the batting average? You know, how you doing on score? And just there's going to be some amount of failure, but you want your net output, net useful output to be maximized. Failure is essentially irrelevant unless it is catastrophic.
For SpaceX, first 3 launches failed, and we actually were just barely able to scrape together enough parts and money to do the 4th launch. If that 4th launch had failed, we would have been dead. So multiple failures along the way. I tried very hard to get the right expertise in for SpaceX. I tried hard to find a great chief engineer for the rocket, but the good chief engineers wouldn't join, and the bad ones, well, there was no point in hiring them. So I ended up being chief engineer of the rocket. So if I could have found somebody better, then we would have maybe had less than 3 failures.
How do you think about making a decision when everyone tells you this is a crazy idea? Or where do you get the internal strength to do that?
Well, first of all, I'd say I actually think I feel fear quite strongly. So it's not as though I just have the absence of fear. I feel it quite strongly. But there are just times when something is important enough, you believe in it enough, that you do it in spite of the fear.
There are people who've been in the rocketry business for decades who say about you that you don't know what you don't know.
Well, I suppose that's true of anyone. How can anyone know what they don't know?
But when critics say you can't do this, your answer to them is,
we've done it.
You know, there are American heroes who don't like this idea. Neil Armstrong, Gene Cernan have both testified against commercial spaceflight and the way that you're developing it, and I wonder what you think of that.
I was very sad to see that, because those guys are, those guys are heroes of mine, so it's really tough. I wish they would come and visit and see the hardware that we're doing here. And I think that would change their mind.
They inspired you to do this, didn't they?
Yes.
And to see them casting stones in your direction.
It's difficult.
Did you expect them to cheer you on?
So they're hoping they would.
What are you trying to prove to them?
What I'm trying to do is to make a significant difference in spaceflight and help make spaceflight accessible to almost anyone. So many people tried to talk me out of starting a rocket company. It was crazy.
What did they tell you?
One good friend of mine collected a whole series of videos of rockets blowing up and made me watch those. He just didn't want me to lose all my money. We're doing these things that seem unlikely to succeed, and we've been fortunate, and at least thus far they have succeeded. Generally, starting a business, I'd say number one is have a high pain threshold. That's it. There's a friend of mine who's got a good saying, which is that starting a company is like eating glass and staring into the abyss. Okay, that's generally what happens, because when you first start a company, there's lots of optimism and things are great, and then so happiness at first is high. Then you encounter all sorts of issues, and happiness will steadily decline, and then you'll go through a whole world of hurt. And then eventually, if you succeed, and in most cases you will not succeed, and Tesla almost didn't succeed, came very close to failure. Then if you succeed, then after a long time, you will finally get back to happiness. Frankly, starting a company, I would advise people to have a high pain tolerance. It is definitely true that, I mean, maybe there are occasionally companies that get created where there's not an extended period of extreme pain, but I'm not aware of very many of such instances. But I do think that new great entrepreneurs are born every day.
and we'll continue to see amazing companies get built. But I would definitely advise people who are starting a company to expect a long period of quite high difficulty.
It's really not that fun. I mean, there are periods of fun, and there are periods of where it's just awful. And particularly if you're the CEO of the company, you actually have a distillation of all the worst problems in the company. There's no point in spending your time on things that are going right. So you only spend your time on things that are going wrong. And there are things that are going wrong that other people can't take care of. So you're like the worst. You have a filter for the crappiest problems in the company. The most pernicious and painful problem. I think you have to feel quite compelled to do it and have a fairly high pain threshold.
I mean, as long as people stay super focused on creating the absolute best product or service that really delights their end customer, like if they stay focused on that, then basically if you get it such that your customers want you to succeed, then you probably will. If your customers love you, your odds of success are dramatically higher.
For somebody who's just starting out as an entrepreneur, I think the internet is a great place to start. Because if you're just starting out, unless you've got a ton of capital that somebody gave you or you inherited or something, you have to start a company that requires a small amount of capital, where it's heavily weighted towards the intellectual capital in your head. So I think anything to do with sort of software and with the internet is a really good starting point. It would have been impossible for me to have done electric cars or rockets, right from the start, because those require money to get anything done.
Being focused on something that you're confident will have high value to someone else, and just being really rigorous in making that assessment, because people tend to, a natural human tendency is wishful thinking. So a challenge for entrepreneurs is to say, well, what's the difference between really believing in your ideals and sticking to them versus pursuing some unrealistic dream that doesn't actually have merit? And that is a really difficult thing to tell. Can you tell the difference between those two things?
Right.
So you need to be sort of very rigorous in your self-analysis.
Successful entrepreneurs probably come in all sizes, shapes, and flavors. An obsessive nature with respect to the quality of the product is very important. But even if you're the best, there's always a chance of failure. So I think it's important that you really like whatever you're doing. If you don't like it, life is too short. If you like what you're doing, you think about it even when you're not working. I mean, it's something that your mind is drawn to. And if you don't like it, you just really can't make it work, I think.
If you're creating a company or if you're joining a company, the most important thing is to attract great people. So either join a group that's amazing that you really respect, or if you're building a company, you've got to gather great people. I mean, all a company is a group of people that have gathered together to create a product or service. And so depending upon how talented and hardworking that group is, and the degree to which they're focused cohesively in a good direction, that will determine the success of the company. So do everything you can to gather great people if you're creating a company. Then I'd say focus on signal over noise. A lot of companies get confused. They spend money on things that don't actually make the product better. So, for example, at Tesla, we've never spent any money on advertising. We put all of the money into R&D and manufacturing and design to try to make the car as good as possible. And I think that's the way to go. So for any given company, just can keep thinking about, are these efforts that people are expending, are they resulting in a better product or service? And if they're not, stop those efforts. Don't just follow the trend. So you may have heard me say that it's good to think in terms of the physics approach, or first principles, which is, rather than reasoning by analogy, you boil things down to the most fundamental truths you can imagine, and you reason up from there. And this is a good way to figure out if something really makes sense, or if it's just what everybody else is doing. It's hard to think that way. You can't think that way about everything. It takes a lot of effort. But if you're trying to do something new, it's the best way to think. And that framework was developed by physicists to figure out counterintuitive things like quantum mechanics. So it's really a powerful method. I think that the final thing I would encourage you to do is now is the time to take risk. You don't have kids. As you get older, your obligations increase. So and once you have a family, you start taking risk not just for yourself, but for your family as well. It gets much harder to do things that might not work out. So now is the time to do that before you have those obligations. So I would encourage you to take risks now. Do something bold. You won't regret it.
I think when I was, 5 or 6 or something, I thought I was insane. It was just strange. Because it was clear that other people did not, their mind wasn't exploding with ideas. It was like, I'm strange. I don't think you'd necessarily want to be me. It's very hard to turn it off. It's like a never-ending explosion. All the time. When I was a kid, I was wondering kind of what's the meaning of life? Why are we here? What's it all about? Came to the conclusion that what really matters is trying to understand the right questions to ask. The more that we can increase the scope and scale of human consciousness, the better we are able to ask these questions. There are certain things that are necessary to ensure that the future is good. Some of those things are, in the long term, having long-term sustainable transport and sustainable energy generation, be a spacefaring civilization, and for humanity to be out there among the stars and be a multi-planetary species. Being a multi-planet species and being out there among the stars is important for the long-term survival of humanity. The part that I find personally most motivating is that it creates a sense of adventure and it makes people excited about the future. How many things can you buy that you really love, that really give you joy? So rare, so rare. I wish there were more things. That's what we're trying to do. Just make things that somebody loves. The universe as we know it will dissipate into a fine mist of cold nothingness eventually. I don't want to sound like things are too dark, because I think you kind of have to be optimistic about the future. There's no point in being pessimistic. What are the set of things that can be done to make the future better? I think that a future where we are a spacefaring civilization and out there among the stars, this is very exciting. This makes me look forward to the future. This makes me want that future. There need to be things that make you look forward to waking up in the morning. You wake up in the morning, you look forward to the day, you look forward to the future. That second version is incredibly exciting and inspiring. Life can't just be about solving problems. Otherwise, what's the point? There's got to be things that people find inspiring and make life worth living. In a future where we are a spacefaring civilization and out there among the stars, I think that's very exciting. That is a thing we want. Whereas if you knew we would not be a spacefaring civilization but forever confined to Earth, this would not be a good future. That would be very sad, I think. If there are two futures, and one future is we're out there among the stars, and the things we read about and see in science fiction movies, the good ones, are true. We have these starships, and we're going to see what other planets are like, and we're a multi-planet species, and the scope and scale of consciousness is expanded across many civilizations and many planets and many star systems. This is a great future. This is a wonderful thing to me, and that's what we should strive for.
So generally when you're trading like SBN for example, let's take SBN for example. Um, when you're trading the option, you want to enter over here somewhere. You don't want to chase the price, you just want to enter. Once you see any kind of bullish momentum forming, you just take a call options or bullish put credit spread option. That will give you the best margin, the lowest margin possible, the lowest premium possible. And then once it's rise, because this is a volatility contraction, right? This is volatility contraction. At this point over here, the volatility high, then premium is high as well. But over here, when you see the volatility contract, the premium is low. So at this point, when you combine multi-time frame, like when the trend is up, you want to follow the trend. So this is the time to enter into the trend. So once you find some kind of momentum, bullish momentum in this, you want to enter the trade. Enter the call options or buy put credit spread. If it goes below this, then you can exit with the minimum loss. But if it rise, you will see the momentum, the volatility expand and premium increase as well. So this is the right time to enter uh, into the options when the premium at the average rate. So what we can expect over here is 1 to 1 or 2 to 1, all right? And that is our possibility. This is the ATR, average true range of this moment right now. Once it's breakout, the first target will be 438 and then second is 443. So you can manage your trade accordingly in option as well. Once it's hit the target, you can get out as well at the same time, or you can trail it. But generally this is the best time to enter the trade. That is bull put credit spread. You sell one with the higher near at the money option, and you buy the out of the money option. So that is your stop loss. When you buy the option, that is your stop loss, right? That will protect you, and you enjoy the time decay as well. You can get the benefit of the time decay just in case the price likely to go sideways. If it doesn't bounce and price goes sideways, then bull put credit spread will be your best option, and you will get the benefit of the time decay as well. That's once it's like Bollinger Band expand, the volatility increase, then you have a premium increase as well, and you will see the big huge gap in a premium when it's lying like this volatility contraction. That is the right time to enter into the trade. If you go in a smaller time frame to capture, once you see any kind of momentum increase, like the proper candle close, the bullish momentum like this, or some proper candles, then you can enter the premium call options, and then you can enjoy the whole run. That is the best way to enter the trade in option trading. Even you can buy the naked call option as well, but generally naked call options, unless until you have the strong bullish momentum and bullish trend, then yes, in this case, buy near at the money or in the money, sell at the money or in the money option, put option, and buy out of the money option. And that will create your credit spread. But this is a smaller time frame. Just make sure this is the smaller time frame, 1 hour time frame trade. But generally, I would like to build a credit spread option on a daily or weekly time frame. That will give you a huge return, like 70 to 80% return on a premium on that trade. Like once it's going sideways, you wanna buy put option somewhere around here. And even if it goes sideways, the put option credit spread will increase your like time decay will give it a premium as well. If you buy like a call option like naked option, like when it's breakout or something, you will get the most momentum out of it. Otherwise, when it's sideways and you want to capture the lowest premium price, then put option is the credit spread is the best option for you. But in this case, I think better buy call option. If it breaks out, then you will quickly get the reward because you're not going to hold it for a few days, because it's a 1 hour time frame trade. So you just want to buy a small one lot, or depending on your capital. But remember, this is like a 1 hour trade, so I think credit spread will be not a good option for it. In this one, naked option, if it is a intraday, then naked option trade is a good one. Like buying a call option is a good option for this trade, because after the volatility contract, we've seen the higher the big jump, generally 2-3% the minimum. We see that, and then that time you get the premium increase as well. Wanted to troll. This was looking good, but this week's, and I was watching this, but straight away it pulled back. You know why? Because trend is sideways. The larger trend is sideways right now, bearish to sideways. Once in this kind of situations, you want to take that trade. But when it's sideways, choppy market, call options, stay away from the options. All right. If I get a weekly trade, once it comes up over the 20 MA, 21 MA or 20 MA, then you look for the buying opportunities. Right now, below the 20, I will not touch it. Another trade is a UBL. I'm looking at this very narrow range. I'm looking for 1625 option. Looking for 1625. Let me check first, and then UBL option. Wait a second. Okay, so UBL, this can be your scalping as well. 1620. Ooh, premium is too high, 4980, and lot size is 700. And volume is low as well. Volatility, the highest one is the 16,001. So open interest. So that can, if you can find anything in that, let's see. So right now it's around 58.30. I think it can jump up to 68, 69. That can be easy target. 10 rupees, 10 into 7,000 rupees. But ooh, that's good. Let's see. Look, keep an eye on the 16,000 option for the UBL. Call option for the UBL. Okay, keep an eye on that. Let's check Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty doing nothing right now. After this breakout, it's gone out of the two standard deviation out of Bollinger Band and now pushing back. It's look like the breakout pullback. If it holds this trend line, that it can be pullback and continuation to the upside. Right now, the major resistance zone, Bank Nifty at the major resistance zone, this zone here. So it's facing the resistance right now, all-time high resistance. So I think it will pull back to the mean, maybe come back to the 20 MA, or if this support holds, this resistance becomes support. If it holds, then most probably it will pull back to the upside. Now, breakout, pullback, and continuation, that end pattern. And generally it does that, but for that it need to hold this support. In a smaller time frame, it's look bit weaker than the Nifty. We had a divergence over here, and this the higher top. We had a divergence and it started to fall. This bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing candle pushed the market to the downside. Right now, if we go in a smaller time frame, there's this volatility contraction can be the another issue. Once it's breakout, I just don't feel very good about the Bank Nifty right now. I like to see the momentum to the upside, this kind of thing, you know. Trend trader, as I'm a trend trader, even if I take the reversal trade, I'll look for the bullish signals when trend is up. I will not take any bearish signal. I'll only take the bullish signal. Like here there was a divergence, and that you can take, and over here the continuation, reversal, continuation, right? So always take a trade in a direction of the major trend, and major trend is bullish, strong bullish. So you just want to follow that. Don't try to take any reversal trade to the downside, unless until the trend is changed. Till then we stay bullish on any currency, any stock or anything. So Bank Nifty is still looking bearish. Here is the 280R support over here, the previous supports as well here. Still this gap need to be filled, so might be it will push back, fill this gap. We got the support over here and then push up. Like always a zone, never as a single support. There is always a zone. So after touching this support zone, and then you can push up. If bull finds support over here, then it will push up. Till then, nothing. Just don't want to draw too many lines to confuse ourselves. So I always like to keep my chart clean. Let's see how. Yes, those are. Another thing is TACM. I forgot about the Tech Mahindra. Tech Mahindra. If you look at the Tech Mahindra over here, it's fired up already, man. Just feels this one looks good, so good right now, and it's on a breakout as well. Okay, let me get ready for the trade. Wait a second. Let me prepare everything over here. Give me a few minutes. So MMFL is doing good as well, right? 815 open. Oh, boy, we missed very badly, man. A moment we exited from the trade over here, you see the volatility contraction. Don't want it to exit, but God, moment here we exited and then pushed up. That happens. We're gonna remove this. So SBIN. So SBN is flat as always. Syngeny flat. UBR flat. I wanted to enter Apollo Hospital because of, you look at this tight range, man. You can have a very tight stop loss over here, but it's gapped up already, like 20-point gap up, 0.5% gap up. Let's see what else. Now you can see the UBL option from 59. Right now it's 63. 62.50 right now, 16,000 call option. So you can see, I think it can jump up to 69 somewhere if it hit our target. That can be our 69 target somewhere. Let me set target on MMFL. Let's see, MMFL 9, 850, 849. So UBL target is around 6. This is our target. So right now, why we set up the small target? Because it extended so much. This is so much extended in a daily time frame. UBL is so much extended. See, it's riding the band, and we just want to capture the small trend out of it. Might be a 3, 4, and 5, and 5 can go up to 1625 somewhere. But we just want to capture the small trend out of it, because market is so much higher, and it can turn around anytime with the small news. It can turn around, so we just want to capture the small trend, right? So if you check the option, UPL option 65 right now, 69 is our target on option, 59 is a buying price, 59.50 or 59 something, you can take that one as well. So if it reach to 69, we will exit from UBL option. So only education purpose only, and I read all the disclosure or everything, disclaimer. Make sure you risk that you can afford to lose only. Don't risk more than 1 or 2% from your account. I generally trade with 2%. Maximum I go with the 5%, not more than that. Okay, the high is 15.99 and option high is 65. It's only 4 point away from our target in option as well. So only one push to the upside, and above 16,000 it will hit our target. 1600, sorry. The market is pushing back. Nifty at 0, not trending anymore, minus negative now. So that stopped this UBL from going to the target. Otherwise, if it held, Nifty had held at the position wherever it was, this pushback, fill the gap. From here you need to wait for range breakout again. Yeah, Nifty is pushing down. So we here it's better to book profit in option, like whatever you have. If you're scalping only, if you're willing to hold for a bit, then you can hold. Otherwise, if you're scalping, you can exit this trade. I just don't afraid from few points ups and downs. I prefer generally if I get stopped out or the target hit, then only I exit generally. No. So still option at 64.20, almost near the high. So people are interested, like open interest is still bullish at 16,000. The premium, when you go near at the money or in the money option, that will give the best result. because generally that is more volatile. 65.90 now, option at only 4 point left, 4 point left for our target. 700, so 7,000 rupees straight away. 700 lot size, so it's easy to get that money. So when you're scalping like this, just UBL need to hold or push out only one few rupees up, and then it will hit our target. 96, good. Push up more than 16,000 and we done. So if you look at the premium option chain, that 1580 call option at 74, 75. So okay, so 16,000 at right now 64.75. 65 now. Good. Once it goes in the money, premium will increase faster than before. So it's up to you when you trail your stop or you just want to book your profit. It's always up to you. But I generally like whatever I planned. I just want to do that only. So on another screen I can show you how I plotted it. 1 second. So UBL, just waiting for the 380 hour. My target is 380 hour, just below this previous resistance. So we up already 1% on a cash as well. Only count a percentage wise. No, not 1%, but almost a percent. Almost a percent. 97 premium. 64, holding at 64.70. So once it's pushed up about a 16,000, premium will jump up straight to our target. I think the longer it will take, premium decay, premium will go down. So it's always better when it's jump and crack out. But Nifty, look at the Nifty, it's falling sharply right now. That's why it's not pushing higher fast enough. Sorry. So this big rejection candle, and got the follow through as well, break the range. Even Nifty is pushing lower than our BBL is still intact. That is a very good sign. So once Nifty start to push up, this will go faster. This will go up faster. So right now, this is a squeeze, Bollinger Band squeeze, break to the upside, stopped out. It like a buyer was getting over here in a breakout and then push down, stopped out everyone, and then again it will push up. Will go slowly a little bit down and then back into the range. in a daily time frame, the ATR is falling in this. The ATR, if I add the ATR indicator, ATR is going lower and lower, so every push is making higher, the range is getting smaller and smaller. Let's check UBL once again. UBL is pushing higher. Okay, almost to our target now, and our option in the money right now. So 66, option at 66. One more push up and we done. Come on, 66. Come on, 66, 69. Come on, come on, come on. One more push up. So almost 1 rupees left and our cash target will be hit. 68. So 68 now. Option at 1 rupee up, and it will hit our cash target and it will hit our option target as well. Ooh. The longer it will take, the premium will go down. So should be like just one jump. Okay. Ooh, almost hit our target. I hit our target. Yeah, you will hit our target. Okay, I was more focused on the cash. I mean our option trade. That's why you will hit our target already. Wow, that's good. That was quick. Our target was 1606 and high was 1607, so that was a quick target. Option at 67. I'm going to book at 68. I will book at 68 or 67, anything. I don't care anymore. 67, 68. So this is how you trade option. If you are scalping intraday, but generally if you are taking any put credit spread or anything, then you have to look for a larger period of time and a larger time frame, because you are looking for time decay. When you are credit spread, you are trading credit spread, you are looking for eating the premium. When you sell options, you are going for eating a premium. So generally I book profit when I do option trade or credit spread. I will look for weekly or daily time frame, not in a smaller time frame. If you're looking for 1 hour time frame, then 1 hour or 30 minutes, then you're looking for a scalping 1 day or 2 days trade. So that you straight away buy the call option, naked call options. That is much easier. You don't build positions like credit spread in an intraday trades. You won't get enough money in that. Alright, this one is done. That was a quick trade, man. We almost got like how much? 85 we bought, right? So 85, 86. So 1%, not bad. 1.2%. That is not bad in a 15. How much? 15 minutes at least, yes. In a 15 minute we got 1.5% or 1.5%. 1.2%, right? So that was quick. Oberoi, then this is pushing lower a bit, 24. But this is a longer term trade, a bit longer, I think. Another weekly trade. It can be like a weekly bull flag. So it can go up to the 909, 897 somewhere, or 1618. But I'm not very much interested because a small lot. I'm not trading a big lot right now. Nifty higher. I think Nifty will push lower sooner. It's too far away from mean. you know. Let me show you Nifty daily. See over here, it's riding the band, but it's too far away from the 20 MA. Every time it goes too far away, I repeat this, every time when it goes too far away, it will pull back to its average price. Revert back to mean means it will reverse back to its mean. That is 20 MA, 21 MA, whatever you like. But generally, every time it push higher, it will pull back. But that same time, average price will go up as well. So they will meet in between here, here, here. Every time it goes higher, push back, goes higher, push back. So right now it's very much extended. That's why I'm scalping right now. We are not taking any like longer term trade, because you never know, it will take one day to push this lower, or like go sideways and slowly go down and then push higher again. It will meet somewhere here and then it will push up again. So anything I'm taking right now, it's a smaller time frame, you know, the scalping trade. So I'm out of the option as well. Almost hit the target, like 67.95 was the high, but 66.50 I got out. Not bad actually. You just don't want to, you know, hold for a much longer, you know, options when you are scalping. You just want to go quick in, quick out, quick in, quick out. That's all you need to do in a scalping. You don't want to hold on to anything. Okay, let's move to some other trades. UBL is done. Apollo was the next one in my list. Let's see how Apollo is doing. Apollo Hospital, and it's pushing lower, so no point, you know. This is how we survive. Once it's failed to break out of to the upper side, then we survive, you know. It's gone lower. That's why we use pending orders. We don't enter into the market orders. If you had entered in the market order, see the difference between UBL and Apollo Hospital in a 30-minute time frame. You see there is no like sideways trend. When you see the UBL, there is a bullish trend. You know, multiple time frame was so bullish, this green line. And when you look at the Apollo Hospital, it wasn't a green, it's sideways, like all the EMS was not stacked properly. So I prefer UBL instead of this Apollo Hospital. So that gave us a better result already. Okay, so Apollo is gone down. We need to check some other trades. Like check your Q means. Let's see. I don't doubt it will go up generally. All right, but I don't see like I know you see this cup and handle. You know, this cup and handle. It's too small for me. I generally like that larger time frame like this. And overextended as well, so it's on our target right now. It was on our target, so I know you were looking at this cup and handle, but I wanted volatility contraction, you know, on this one. This was too wide. This range is too wide. I want range like this, tight range volatility contraction. Then you get the proper bounce. See now premium on a UBL went back to 61. So that's why you have to be very quick on taking profit as well when you're scalping. Even Nifty is going up now, UBL is sideways. And range. Okay, anything else? Anything else? Yes, cumin was, everything was good on a cumins, but only thing I was concerned about that this range. I don't put stop loss over here because this is not a proper low. I want a base to form first and then push it up, because generally if you take this trade, it will hit this stop and then it will go up. Generally that happens. So on, this is the base. It's set the base over here that I don't want to go lower than this. That is called base. That seller get out from here. They don't want to hold below this. This is not a base. This is just higher lows or something. Inside lows. So once base is set, then you can take a trade like UBL or any other. See, this base was set, that buyer was telling, the seller was telling that I can't go any lower. 20 MA was holding. I don't know, and it was respecting the 20 MA all the time. So, and had the narrow range volatility contraction. So that was a bonus on the top. So only difference was that, because I want to set my RR at the best, risk to reward. I want a risk minimum and want to get out with the maximum output. See this, when the range is big, people start booking very quickly. When range is tighter, it will push a bit more than the usual one. So the range is bigger, it will push back. Once it goes higher, like out of the 2 ATR, it will push back. To standard deviation, not ATR, sorry. Over here, when you check the ATR at the lowest as well, very very low ATR reading over here. So that's the best time to enter for, like, if you are trading options, this is the best time, because the premium is very low at this time. Volatility contraction. I can't find any better trade today as Nifty is falling as well. Let's check our watch list. One more thing about HDFC. Let's see how HDFC, and I'll push up, pull back. ATI is low, so this was good. I don't like to trade the banks, but you know, the setups, there is no such a thing like or dislike thing. So, but sometime our psychology, mentality, that push you there. HDFC PI industry, yes, PI industry, PI industry, whatever it is, that push down as well. So we are not in. Good job. PFC, PFC I wasn't so sure. Okay, push down as well. So no. REC, what REC is saying, push down. GSW Energy, let's check that one. Ah, see, we survived, it didn't trigger as well, and we can't sell in the same day, at the same day, so no point trading this one for scalping. When you're taking 1 hour 30-minute trade, make sure that is available for intraday trading. All the new SEBI norms will affect that. And stay away from those penalties. They're just craving for the money. They just want to loot us, loot the people, retailers. They can't do anything to the big traders. They can only loot the retailers. Tech M. So let's check Tech Mahindra. So initial push down and now pushing higher. Right now, only thing I'm worried about, this resistance, all-time high resistance around, just around the corner, and we can see the target should be around 1499. Should we take it? Momentum is rising, ATR is flat. Volume is dead. Just give it some time, I think. Well, I think it will go up higher, but I'm just gonna pause right now. Let's see anything else we have. Or is SR? Yes, that one. SR Transfin. Still in range. So I hate this kind of trade. Rejection. You know, when you create a wick, it's telling us it's a rejection there. Not once, twice. The setup is very good. Rejection, these wicks are very dangerous, you know. It can make or break. Anything can happen. This is a 50-50 trade. You take it over here and it can go up, fall down, it can. So we need to have more probabilities into our favor. In this trade we don't have more probabilities. It's 50-50. We need at least 70 to 80% in our favor to take that trade. In this trade we have only 50-50. Sideways, wicks, upside, overall trend bearish, like sideways. So I'm just gonna ignore this one. Sideways to bearish to sideways. So I'm just gonna ignore this one. Let's move to another one. What is that? SPIN, yes. But bank index is falling. Bank Nifty is falling, so I think it will. Yes, it's falling down. See, that's why we didn't take. We just set up everything. Once it's break to the upside, we take trade. But if it fall down, we will ignore this trade. Overall, the 1 hour was bearish. Now you can see that the bearish trend. It was trying to push higher. But if I draw the Fibonacci, then can be around 50-60. Yes, 50% retracement. So, and then it start to trend to the downside again. As long as Nifty, bank Nifty is in a range, as we discussed, that it will pull back to like this one, this support. Gap is filled, now it will push back, and then it might create like breakout, pullback, and continuation. If it held this like this zone over here, if Nifty Bank hold this zone, then it will push higher. If it goes back, then it will retest this trend line and this channel, and this channel will continue, this channel. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking right now. So if this hold, then we see the pullback. If we fail to hold, then we can see the pullback to this trend line, this channel. So that's why I'm not taking any trade in the banks, but the setup was good in SBI, and expecting 1-to-1 or 2-to-1 RR at least, but right now it's no setup done. Why this one? Because after 50.50 retracement, there is 618 retracement, so that can be a good target. If it pull back from here, pull up, then keep it on radar at least. Not doing much, but keep on radar. So UBL, after hitting the target, you see that's how this resistance work. You have to combine many things, ATR, resistance, you get a perfect setup, perfect target as well. It's back to our entry point, right? So when you're scalping, don't be so greedy. As we said, this is much more extended. We just want to capture the small trend, small tiny trend, not the larger trend. When we go for daily and weeklies, then we capture the larger trend. As Nifty is falling, I don't think we can take any trade. Whoa. Let's check Sinchine. Tech Mahindra looks good, but I just don't want to take that trade. Sinjin is still sideways. Tech M is pushing higher. Oh, don't find a proper entry. That is an issue. Can't find a proper entry where I can see the bulls are taking control. This breakout is one of them, but right now it's broke out and pulled back. That is not good sign actually. The proper entry was around here, but it didn't blast as I expected. The volatility was contracting over here. Tight, very tight volatility contraction. But right now I don't, it's expanded already, check the Bollinger Band here. See Bollinger Band, before it was like this, getting closer, the volatility contracting. Right now it's expanding, Bollinger Band is expanding, and then it will start trending. So it's already expanded. I want to capture somewhere near the 20, somewhere here. Right now it's gone up, and if we take trade here, then our stop loss goes far, and then we have to take a higher target, which is a bit harder than the tight range. Let's check Petronet LNG on request. Petronet. Oh, nice jump. See over here, the volatility contraction in a smaller time frame. What happened? this was the wallet a few days ago. I was watching this, right? A few days ago. This was the tight range over here in a daily as well. Yeah, if I check the daily, this was a tight range, right? It's very good bullish setup. I was watching from here once it's jumped out over here. Nice slow downtrend and it push up. Break out of the range, it will push higher. Bull flag. If you check the bull flag here, then your target should be here. Generally, what this rectangle does, I generally take 1 to 1 when is a bullish rectangle pattern here. Don't expect much from the bullish rectangle, but this setup is very good overall. If I check the weekly, it's sideways. That's why I'm not taking this trade. I need to be more bullish. I generally take only bullish stocks to buy. That's why I didn't take this trade. It was in my radar, but one of my rules doesn't match, then I will not take a trade. It's very good for holding till that 61.8. If you are in already, then 236, and it can fill this gap. Here is a big gap, 248. It can easily reach there to fill that gap. But I don't like to trade the sideways stocks. If you look at the rules of the like rectangle, let me show you one thing. Image. Okay, this rectangle image. So your target should be 1 to 1 or 1.5 to 1. That is easy to achieve. Rectangle. Okay. Yeah. So where is that image gone? Well, I can't see that image. I think once it's reached 618, then book half or 75% and let another half run to the fill the gap and start trailing from there. Start trailing from there. That is the best option. See if I match this and this. So it almost hit that thing, right? So that can be your pole, flag, and pole. Impulse, correction, impulse. That can be your target. But in a sideways stock, I don't prefer impulse. Like, so it's up to you. Right now, I just want to buy and sell, not holding anything. Someone requests Coalpal. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Coal Gold pal in a buy zone. How it's in a buy zone? It was here, but not now. Jindal's tell. Jindal's tell is out of my league now. Was in a bullish trend before, like here. Once it's go down below the 20 MA or 30, then I will not look at it. Every time here, any buying opportunity I will take. Once in a weekly, it's about 20. Any buying opportunity I will take. Or once it goes below, you can take this major breakout if you want, but it has to be about 20. Once it's break out this, then it will come about a 20. Otherwise, I don't feel comfortable buying the, because once the trend, what happen is accumulation here, not drawing like this one sec. So accumulation start here. Maybe this is the another accumulations or the distribution. We don't know now. Accumulation, cup and handle thing. That's why I'm saying this one. This is a cup and handle. Cup and handle. So this is accumulation zone. This can be another accumulations or distributions. We are not sure. Accumulations or distribution. So once it's below that and 20 MA is pointing down, it can start a new trend. Over here, just like this. Once it's push up, start a new trend. When it's below, it goes below. Let's go more down to the downside. So once people start distributing, that can go far. We don't know how. Even if we look the momentum is red, bearish. So on weekly, I don't feel comfortable. So whoever asked about this. So Nifty going to play the same role as yesterday, goes sideways completely, no fun. This is what happened when it's too far extended, straight up, too far extended. Once I start pushing down, then we will see the momentum coming to the play. Right now, too extended, people are too confused whether the big players are selling their stocks, holdings, they are booking their profits. That's why it goes sideways, and once they're done selling most of their major of their stocks, then it will start pushing down major of their holding. Then so this is too far extended, the volatility contracted, time to revert back to its mean. So just wait and watch, don't take any positional trade right now. See Nifty, this spinning top, this is spinning top kind of pattern. Market tried to break that high but failed, and now pushing down. So last few days I'm telling everyone to be careful taking trades, don't hold too many positions, and if you are taking any trades, just take as an intraday trade. Don't try to be Don't try to fight the market. Just be with the market. If market is going down, yes, I'm with the market. If it's going up, yes, I'm buying everything. Most of the things will work out. If you try to pick tops and bottoms, then you're dead. We can pick most of the tops and bottoms. We can pick, but I'm still preferring like trend following. Okay, what happened? Nothing, just alert. Okay, so modified 815. See how powerful this candle was. As we said, once market push down back in a range, and then it will decide where it wanted to go. Stopped out the buyers, stopped out the sellers over here, because they think it's now it will go up. They stop, and the sellers book the loss, and market fell again. Now look at this ATR. Range is rising when it's falling. This is what we want actually. Market to push back to the 20 ATR, 20 MA. And that will give us some more stocks buy zone, in our buy zone. More stock will come into our buy zone, and then we can start again holdings. So this volatility contraction, I was telling everyone to buy from here, then 1 hour contraction somewhere here, this one, breakout, impulse, correction, impulse. That was the another setup. If anyone missed this one, you just have to be very patient in the trading. You can't just be active all the time, like taking trades all the time. It will hurt you. Prepare your trades, plan your trade, and then take a trade. Unless otherwise you will not get anywhere. And now as Nifty is falling, I can't take any buying trade. I want market and stock both in the same direction. So when our stock rises, it get the force, the bull force. This range is a resistance now. This range, this zone become a resistance zone. So even if it rise from here, anywhere, it will test this zone. Whether if you want to go up or whether it go down. But before going up or down, it will fight here. Bulls and bears will fight here. and then whoever win that fight, they will take control here. But most probably, I think it will go sideways. Today is a sideways zone, unless Europe open very strongly or something like that happens. That is a different story. But generally, when market too much higher, you know, that time market after that it will go sideways slowly or it will push down because it need to capture this average price. This is an average 20 days price. It has to capture that. Whether it do straight down or whether average to come up automatically. That's how it does. Like here, push up and then it went sideways few days, few weeks, and let average come to the normal, and then boom again. We'll keep looking for, if we are trading Nifty, we'll keep looking for a buying opportunity. Generally, two things I look for: a reversal. A reversal means only and only divergence. When price is falling down, an indicator is showing a divergence in momentum, like indicator is rising. This is bullish divergence that I look for. And another thing is the trend continuations. If trend is up, if I find any pattern, bullish pattern, then I will take a trade in a direction of the trend. That's the only two things I look for a trading. That's it, nothing else. You can't win always though. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but if you follow the trend, most of the time you win. Your probability increase. We had a 1 month losing 1 month in the last 2 years. Few last 2 years we had last month also losing month as a trader, but we can capture it easily. This month we took four or five trade. Most of them are winners, so it's almost captured. We almost captured everything from last month to last losing month. So when Nifty start pushing up, we will start looking at the stock again. And it's pushing down, we don't want to look at the stock. Otherwise, we will take any stupid trades. We will take and we don't want to do that. Once you start reversing, then we will look for it. See, this is why I was telling everyone to take scalping trades as Nifty is too high. See, everything is falling now. Even our UBL, after hitting the target, it's lower now. See, target hit and now lower. So we did right. Alright, don't be so greedy and now looking for a bigger target, as we generally take 5 or 10% target. But as the situations, you have to be with the current situations, and that's why we took a small target. So you see this divergence, how it worked out. I already showed you the divergence over here. This divergence on a Bollinger Band percentage. Whether you take a hard stop, like hard stop, I mean hard target over here, revert back to its mean, or you can take a trailing stop. You can trail your entry. You can just book your profit. Both easy. People like to complex the trading. Otherwise, if you keep it clean, it's very easy. They put hundreds of indicator out there, hundreds of things, and then make it complex. Just keep your concept clear. Whether it's a reversal or trend following, that's it. Three type of pattern out there, like trend. One is reversal. If trend is going down, you looking for a reversal. Okay, So the reversal point, we choose divergence. Another thing is, once it started trending, we look for the continuation. So we look for pattern over here as well, but another trend following pattern over here. Okay, and then again, once a trend reached its top peak, then looking for reversal again. So reversal, continuation, and reversal. This is a market pattern, and in between over here it's a sideway market. So there is only three things here: sideway, continuation. So make sure what you are following right now. Okay, so over here we were looking for reversal. Now we will look for trend continuation. Once back into the trend, we'll look for any pattern, trend following pattern, and then we wait for reversal again. I hope you like these explanations. If you have any questions, you can ask. Feel free to ask me. Not much doing much today, so let's go through our watch list. Start with the smaller time frame first. Yeah, Nifty. Look at the Nifty. See, 280R, that's 2 standard deviation and pushback. My mic was off in between. I spoke a lot about Bollinger Band, and I didn't realize the mic was off. Yeah, I think you missed a lot. So let's go through watch list. Apollo Hospital. Start with the smaller time frame. 30-minute. Pushing lower, break to the downside, so no trade in that. Bharti Airtel. Sideways, still sideways, but good thing is not pushing lower though. Some more potential over here. Falling wedge. Okay. What else? DLF. DLF. It's gone to the downside. No. Goodrich CP. Oh, nice. Goodrich CP here. Let's check weekly first. Riding the band. Momentum is still strong. Let's check daily. Daily is still riding a band. Momentum is still bullish. 4 hour, 1 hour. What about the Goodrich CPs? Most of the time it's spiked so much. Looks good. I'm gonna keep on radar. Just broke out the high as well, like this one. Looks good. Keep on radar. 1%, 1.5% up. Godrej CP 1126. Then Nestle India. Hey, that one is going up as well. Okay, so this is all FMCG is rising. That means FMCG is rising. Let's check Unilever. Yes, FMCG is holding the market right now. Okay. Dabur. Okay, Dabur. I took the trade over here. Done. That was easy. Reversal. Okay, so Dabur, then REC Limited. Oh, REC fell a lot. SBIN Bank. Bank is down. See the zone, 50 and 38 zone. Never rush for the entry, just wait for the confirmation. So we didn't get any confirmation in this, so we didn't enter in this trade. Bank Nifty is down 300 400 point. So over here, if you find any divergence in the trend, this channel, right? See how perfectly channel works. Just need to know how to draw it, then you can pick tops and bottoms as well. So many things in a trading. So one kind of language, takes time, but once you know the language, you can speak and read it easily, write and read easily. ITC, damn. Oh my god. See, we had in our watch list, right? Yes, we have in our watch list ITC, expecting a bounce in ITC. ITC, this was the setup, right? Here, this was the setup. Yeah. Impulse, correction impulse. This is the target of the trend line. See this trend line? So push up a little bit and then it will push down. Oh my god. Missed. When you expect a least from something, that will give you the best result. ITC is one of the worst performer, best companies with the worst performing stock. I didn't expect this though. I was thinking it will blast, but wasn't expecting it. When the market is falling, it blasted. That is bad. So I think it will push down sooner or later. It will come down, as Nifty is still going down, I think. So all FMCGs are running right now. But I don't want to take any trade as Nifty is going against us. When Nifty is negative, it started rising there. ITC, come on man, I can't do that. So this is like a bullish pennant pattern. In a smaller time frame. This was so good, man. Oh my god. Because I was expecting a weekly range. This is a weekly tight range and I was expecting it's going to blast in a few weeks, this week or somewhere near term. And 1 hour I was looking at this, I had this setup that completely missed it. I wasn't expecting this as Nifty was falling, so oh, okay, never mind. And it is a weekly trade, no weekly watch list, so not very keen right now holding anything. Once Nifty falls, then I wanna, like 5-10% Nifty down, then I would love to hold something. I generally build my positions when Nifty is falling at the lower end. When Nifty is at the lower end, then I start buying more. When Nifty is rising, I try to clear all those things. But you will never notice that what we are doing. All those positions last month we had, we were buying it on a dip, but you will not notice it. When Nifty was falling and when it started up, it didn't go up. That was the problem. Generally, we were building that positions for a larger target. What was that? Happiest mind. Happiest mind. What happened to it? Okay, see this breakout. 1525 exit. Wow, perfect exit over here. And push down. Breakout, pull back. Let's see from here whether it's hold or fail. Whether it's hold here or it fail to hold this support. If it hold this support, we will see the continuation. Breakout, pull back, and continuation. BPC. So that is N pattern, N wave. See, now it's starting. I think the previous line was right. I'll just try to mess up with it. It's more resistance over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and now 10th resistance over here. So if we had bought it over here, this could have been our target. This resistance trend line. Few point below the resistance, not exact, but few point below. So let's check SR Tron. Still holding this range. See, these wicks are very powerful. Rejection. I don't see anything much. Not much. Just dial. Or just dial. Just all I was watching. Lalpat Lab was a bad miss for me. All set up over here, you know. I was all set up. This gap up over here, that was the worst thing that happened. That failed my entry. I was ready with the option as well on that Lalpat Lab. Over here, I was ready with the option and it's gapped up and completely failed. I had an entry over here with 2 rupees 38, 38, 38, 38 to 38, 40 or 42 maybe. I completely ignored that and went up. No, then I let it go. As if I chase it, my stop loss goes too far away. Over here, the stop loss was just around 0.5%. Over here, if I chase it, my stop loss goes almost 1.5%. Sinjini, nothing. UBL, then Godrej CPC. This week's rejection, those are bad sign. Because it's breakout of this range and it try to, it's reached to its resistance zone. So this range is so small for me to trade, you know. That's why I didn't take this trade. Okay, ready, Nifty bouncing, looking for any trending. Now we've seen the reversal, now time for the trend. If we can find any pattern. First of all, I need a volatility contraction. Volatility expanded over here, and I want, once it's pushing higher, I want to see Bollinger Band to contract, getting tighter. You know, that will give me a boost to my trade once it's breakout. So my stop loss become very tight. At the same time, we will get any pattern, some kind of pattern, range, like bullish rectangle, pennant pattern, or anything if I can find there, that will boost my probabilities. Till then, we won't do anything. Just wait and watch. One thing I want to tell you is, don't try to predict anything. Won't pass, this will not happen, that will not happen. You know, market will prove you wrong all the time. It will prove you wrong most of the time. And so instead of predicting, I don't like to predict, just follow it. You know, as I said, there is only 3 things in the market, like reversal. One is reversal, One is trend, and another is sideway, like and support and resistance. You just need to find what market is doing. Is it reversing? Is it reversing? Is it trending? Or is it sideways? So from this, if you have find that it's reversing, what tool you will use to take that trade, you know? If I'm looking for reversal, I will look for divergence. Simple. That is my trade. If I'm looking for trend trading, I will look for patterns. You know, impulse, correction, impulse. Any trade, any pattern I will find over here, I will take that trade. And if I'm trading sideways, which I never do, generally I never take sideways trades. You're looking for support and resistance trade. You sell it, you buy at support, you sell it resistance, you buy at support, you sell it resistance. This is the only thing you're looking for. You don't want to predict anything. You know, at one stage everyone was telling market going to crash, this and that, and market is pushing higher and higher. Market proved everyone wrong. You know, that's why we don't want to predict anything. If you say 14,000, it will go 15,000, 16,000, you know, 20,000. You know, 14,000 at one point it was looking hard. You know, it's almost 18,000. People were saying it will reach to 20,000 before Diwali. We don't want to do that. Let them predict. Let whatever they want to do, let them do. Our job is to find any of this thing like reversal, trending, or that's it, or range. That's it. Let them waste their time predicting anything. That most of the time they will be wrong. You know, you can predict anything for a longer period. You can say Nifty will go 25,000 within 10 years, 15 years. But can you trade that? What's the point predicting anything that you won't be able to trade? So prediction is different and trading is different. When you predict something and you can trade that thing, that is a different story. That's where our probabilities come into the play. You know, you remember this thing, like our predictions about the Nifty high lows and those things. That is a different thing. Let me show you that. So I think you have seen it already, but I'm going to show you how you can manage that. So this was the prediction. Nifty going to fall to number 4, right? So fourth wave. So this is a fourth wave, and I was expecting market to go down to that 50% retracement zone. Now, this was a larger weekly move. We had a divergence, RSI divergence, very clear divergence. Nifty breakout of this range as well. So you are sure the Nifty will go down to this previous support at the fourth wave. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to short Nifty. Sometime I do short Nifty, buy put calls, you know, buy put spread and something, or naked put. You can do that as well and ride through, or you can short some stocks and ride it through day ahead. So that how this prediction will imply to your trading. You're not just predicting it will go there, but what's the point? And it went down to this, and we predicted after here it will push up to 5, fifth wave will start, you know. So once it's reached over here and once it started moving up, we started buying stocks. That's how prediction will work for you. You know, fourth wave here we pointed out, at about 50% retracement, and then it will push higher. It will not go below that one first wave. If it goes below the first wave, then it's not an impulse wave, then fifth will not happen. But look at that, it's straight going up. So fifth wave, that this can be extended fifth wave or major. If I change the monthly time frame or something, it monthly or quarterly, it will give me the different reading on Elliott wave. But it doesn't matter what number is this, we want to capture the impulse, third wave, fourth wave, it doesn't matter. We want to capture the impulse. How are we going to trade this one? So as long as it's riding higher, we just following the trend, we just buying the stocks. As long as it's going up, once it started going down, then we will stop buying it and only selling everything. Open interest, I think those things are the good support and resistance zone. Instead of you're looking for that, figure out something, I think those are the major support and resistance zones. Open interest, when you have build up over there, you can't tell that those are the buyers or the sellers. Big companies, they never buy calls, buy, they never buy, they only sell, because they want to eat the premium. When the premium is very high, they sell, and they eat the premium and eat the retailer money. So you can't tell whether it is like buyers out there or sellers out there, but most probably the companies, they only sell. So that is most probably it's a support and resistance zone, instead of we think it's some kind of point, buying or selling point. But no, it's a support and resistance zone. You can use it as a support and resistance. People look at differently, everyone has a different point of view. But as far as I know, those things, if i if I look at the Nifty, let me check first. No, so is Nifty. Okay, so if I we can see the highest open interest at 57 lakh 72,900, that is 17,400. Okay, let's do what, we put one line, 17,400. No, wait a second, what was it? Okay, 17,400, and put is 17,400, and we copy it, and you will notice how it works. You get my point. And the put option is highest open interest. One is 17,300, that is a 38 lakh. Okay, and another one is 17,200. Okay, so 17,200. Okay, so they are building their positions. They think, um, you have a multiple order like iron condor, vertical spread. You build some kind of positions over here, so you think this is a support and resistance zone, market is not going to fall below this. So they build up premium eating verticals, or iron condor, where market is going to be sideways and they want to eat your premium. Okay, so I don't think there is nothing much more than that you can find from open interest. Yeah, 17,300. Why so? You got my point, right? So if you look at this stage, then you will see that this is a support, this is a resistance. Simple. So if you look at the open interest, then you will find the better support and resistance from straight away from the numbers. I don't think that those things gives any indication of buying or selling, but those are the strong support and resistance zone when you see the highest open interest. So let's put 1713 as well. 17,300, right? So you will see there are some major support. See here, this is a support, this is a support. See, they're looking for support. Those are the major supports. They stop, they stop, they stop. They are just plotting it and trading accordingly. Support and resistance, because they want to eat your premium. They will sell most of the time when it's reach at the support or reach at the top. Yes, that's the best way to use the open interest. Yes, that's the best way to use open interest as a support and resistance. So if you are taking any trade, that can be used as your target. you know that's how you use that's how I use open interest in option. I don't know how different people have different views. I don't blame them, but that's how I use open interest. It will not indicate you. I don't think it will give you any more idea more than that. But you need to be very watchful when it's reached to those levels. You know. Once it's reached over here, you see how market reacted. It bounced as we already drew support and resistance zone, right? And we already took a trade from the support bullish. So you don't need all those things. It will be here on the chart. You don't need. The more you get confused, more you look at those, more things you will get more confused in that. Keep it simple. So if I remove all this, okay, all these lines, let me show you one thing. Simple. We generally take three time frames daily. For a major trend and major reversal, we look daily time frame. Okay, so over here trend is bullish and very much extended. Okay, so we were expecting some kind of pullback, right? We were expecting from 2 days, we were expecting some kind of pullback. So we went down in a smaller time frame. We know where it pulled back, 20 MA. From here it started to pull back to 20 MA. Where is the support? 20 MA. Here is the support, 20 MA is the support. If I go in a smaller time frame, even more smaller time frame, the 30-minute, where is the support? To standard deviation. Once it's break 20, then there is a 50 MA as well, 50 MA support as well. You can take 50. Once it goes below the 20, there is a 50 MA support, and once it goes below the 50, 100 and 200 is your support zone. But as for this example, as for the Bollinger Band, once it go out of 282 standard deviation, it will pull back to its mean is 20 MA, and if it breaks that, it will go to the 2 standard deviation, to the lower band. Try to reach over here, it failed and pushed up, but generally it does that over and over again. So more you think, more you look out for things, more you will get confused. Yes, because you don't know whether it's a buyer or a seller that building a position over there, right? Most probably retail trader only buys. Okay, so how they are going to make money? The big trader, how they going to make money? They have to make someone lose for them to make money. If retailer lose, they will make money. So if retailer is buying, what they will do? They will sell. Okay, so at the zone, when retailer is buying, they are selling. So we don't know at the zone, at the open interest, highest open interest, whether there are the buyers out there or the sellers out there, right? So it's always better to use at the support and resistance zone. Once it's breakout, then you can see the major difference. Yeah, we generally book. Let's take UPL example. Let me check first, then I can show you that. Okay, UPL 16,000 and see open interest at 16,000, 4,46,600, right? At 16,000. So it is working as support and resistance. Price immediately went up and it worked as a resistance and price fell down. UBL. Okay, so 16,000, we just expecting market will push a bit higher, but if you take a zone, okay, 16,000 to here, the top zone, that is a resistance zone, and we picked that as a target. See, so highest interest, when you're buying, they are selling. You don't know whether they are buyers or the sellers. Okay, open interest, but most probably open interest are the sellers, because retailer can't create the higher volume, retailer can't build a big position. It's a big player who build a big positions, and big player most of the time they are selling the option, then they hardly buy naked calls or options. That's what my point is. So I don't know whether how you take it, but the simple example is this, right? This is how I see it. And if you look at the put option, 1500 is a support zone, right? 86,000. So there is not much open interest on the put option. So people are still bullish, but they're building the position in between. So they are more prefer to range instead of the bullish momentum, because it's already went up so far. So always take it as a support and resistance instead of any what do you think is like buying and selling zone. No, don't take it as a 20 minutes. Be right back. Need a break.